So in the last section, we kind of went through how the timeline works, and we also did some cutting and putting the music together, reducing the sound of the music when the voiceover was. But in my opinion, that's a little bit of tedious process of how we are doing everything. I have some set of shortcuts that can help you to cut and put all the clips together just with one press of a button. For example, if we have this clip, like we cut until here, right? So if we have this clip, right? What I need to do, I just need to select the audio and the video. And if I just press one button on the keyboard, it's already gone. And then if I press another button on the keyboard, then it comes here in the front. What I can also do is I'll just do Control Z, and if I press another button here, say for example this clip was here and I wanted to cut this part out. So if I just press another button here, so what's happening here is if I just want to get rid of this clip, then with one button this part would be removed and this clip would go on the left. And if I have to remove the clip from here, with one button everything is removed. How is all this possible? All of this is possible because I'm using shortcuts, keyboard shortcuts to be precise, and I can also zoom in and out of the timeline like that. So how do you change the keyboard shortcut? Let's go here in the corner. We go to DaVinci Resolve, then we go keyboard customization. And you can see here I have a preset which is already loaded, which is DaVinci Resolve RE. If you want to load the same preset what I have, then what you need to do, you go in the resource panel and you would have a .txt file, .text file. Let me export this preset as DaVinci Resolve export DaVinci Resolve RE to desktop, and then I'll show you how it looks. So I will just do DaVinci Resolve RE, and if I go to my desktop, because a lot of people get confused, they're like, oh, there's not a preset file. If I go here on my desktop, then you would have a preset which looks like this. This is the keyboard customization preset. And what you need to do with this is, you go to DaVinci Resolve, keyboard customization, you press on these three dots, and then import a preset. And then you go to desktop or wherever you have saved the preset what I provided you. Just click on this and open. I'm not going to do it because I already have the preset. So that's how you can import my keyboard shortcuts preset. But I'll also go through what are the keys, what is helping me to, move the clips back and forth or move everything so easily. So the most important button that I use, if you have imported my preset, you would see here. So if I press Q, then there is an application called Trim Start, and that's what it does. It kind of trims the starting part, and then W is kind of trims the end part. So let's go here, and on this clip, if I just press Q, it kind of trims the entire thing. We don't want that. That's why we select the audio and video, and we kind of trim here. And with this selected, we can also press W now, and it kind of trims whatever is on the right or towards the end of the video. So that's W and Q, the trim start and trim end. And if you want to also search any of these commands, what you need to do, you go to all commands. That's really important. Go to all command, and then you go trim start, and then you would have the buttons here. So trim start is the command, and what button is associated with trim start? Q. If you want to change it, say for example, if I want to do J is assigned to something. So if I want to say go M is also assigned to something. Say L. Let's just say if I want to assign L button, you can just assign here, but L is already assigned to something else, which I don't really use. But yeah, then you can assign any button of your convenience to any of these commands. That was Q and W. Next one, it's also really handy, is A and S. So if you have imported my preset, if you click on A, then you have application zoom out, zoom out. If you go S, zoom in, zoom in. What that does, I will just discard the setting. So if this is my timeline, if I press S, it kind of zooms in. So I just click, 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 it zooms in. If I press A, it kind of zooms out. So that's really handy if I want to jump all over my timeline. So wherever I would put my playhead here, there it would zoom in. If I want to put my playhead here, if I press S, it would zoom in. So that's also really useful for me. Keyboard customization. Another one is C. So C was the blade edit mode. You know, we were cutting the clips with the blade edit mode. Another one is V. So when the cursor goes to the blade tool to bring back it to the cursor, you have to press V. For example, if you see my cursor here, if I press C, it's on the blade tool. If I press V, it's on the normal tool. And if I press B, then it goes to trim edit mode. And the trim edit mode was something where the clips were going really quickly. So in the normal, if I'm in the normal mode, the cursor looks like this, right? If I select this clip, if I press Q, it kind of deletes everything in the front. But then we still have to manually drag it, you know, select both of this, manually drag it, or we can click on the gap here and press X, that is ripple delete. You can press X, then it comes there. That's still 2-3 steps. But if we go on this mode, that is the trim edit mode, which is B, then you can see my cursor is changing. So cursor changed to this. And now if I press Q, then it kind of course does to everything. But now if I just select this and if I press Q, then it chops off the things in the front, and then it also moves the clip towards the front. Say for example, if you wanna get rid of this part, what I'm gonna be doing is I would select both of this, go press B and then W. So I don't even have to take off my hands from the keyboard. It's that convenient. And then I go back to the normal edit mode, which is V. So in the normal edit mode, which is V, if I want to, you know, drag this clip to here, it can, you know, you can just overwrite it. You can just click on the edges and you can overwrite it. So we are in the normal edit mode, yeah? If you want to move the clip, you can bring it like this. But if we go to the trim edit mode, which is B, I'll just press B, you can still drag the clips, but now it's gonna drag in the clip the different sections. So say for example you wanted to put the things which is towards the end of the clip, you can click here. You wanted to put the things which is on the front of the clip, you can put it here. So I hope it makes sense, and that's why this timer is changing, because now it's at 0.08 milliseconds. There is a difference between the audio and the video. So I'll just press Ctrl Z. So I hope it makes sense. So there is a difference between the normal edit mode and the trim edit mode. So let's go back to the keyboard customization. D, I don't have anything with D. Ripple delete was X. So what ripple delete always does is if there is a gap, you press X, it goes like this. And now we have to do the audio and video separately because the link tool is disabled. Yeah. But if we enable it, and now if we press X, then it goes together. So that's also handy if you enable the link tool. And next to the link tool is a magnet tool, snipping tool, which is shortcut is N. If you press N, it gets disabled. If you press N, it gets enabled. So if we disable it, and if you have to move this clip here, I'll just really zoom in, then you really have to park this clip here. Otherwise, you can also go here or here. And if you leave it here, then the clip stays there. But if we have the snipping tool enabled, and if I move, I'll just zoom out. And if I move this clip here, let's kind of zoom in. And if I just put it here, then it kind of helps you to snap on the other clip. You see, it kind of like, it's like a magnet. So it kind of attaches the clips together. And then if you really force it, then you can move it here. But if you bring it like this, you can really park it on the end of the other clip. Like, it's really difficult to explain, but you really have to try for yourself. Then you would know what I mean by the snapping tool. Another clip that I really like to use is E, which is the enable clip. So if I press E, this clip is disabled. If you press E, this clip is enabled. And that is really handy. So you see, if I move this now, the audio and the video, they both move. That's why I kind of disable the link here. So if I move this clip here, you know, if the goal was to put this clip on top of this clip, but if I want to see the clip which is under, then I can just disable this by pressing E. And that is also handy. Coast of the Netherlands. So yeah, with E you can enable or disable the clips. And what you can also do, for example, if I go here, if I kind of zoomed in, how do you zoom in? Just scroll with your mouse. If I zoomed in, you know, in the playhead, in the main playhead here, and if you want to bring this clip back to normal, you don't have to zoom out, you know, fit the screen. Now you see, oh, it's too much zoomed out. Now let's fit it. You just press Z. If you press Z, it's fit to the screen. That's what you can do here, fit Z. But if you want to go 200%, you go 200, or just press Z, it just fits to the screen. Because a lot of times if I'm doing color grading, if I'm doing something else, I kind of zoom in, zoom out, and then I just press Z and I know that it is fit to the screen, to the space what I have provided. So those were shortcuts for you. I hope it all makes sense, and I would really recommend you to import my shortcuts, how I did it, because in the upcoming sections, I would be editing according to my shortcuts and I would be repeating the keys according to my shortcuts. So it would make sense for both of us. And they're really handy, and a lot of people have tried it and they have loved it. So it takes 2 seconds to just import it, do that so that we are on the same page. Now in the next section, we're gonna actually make a sequence out of this, out of all of these videos. So let's go.